We are here for another day in New Orleans, Louisiana. Today is Monday, March 10th, 2025 at 5:03 p.m. Central Time. I'm just outside of my Hampton Inn Suites hotel, and we're going to be doing a bike ride again. I just finished presenting at my conference. 3 hours time span, but only 2 hours worth of session material. There was just an hour break in between the sessions. But before the sun sets, I wanted to do some bike riding adventures, and I'm going to try to head toward the Bywater area. Hopefully I can capture some of that and maybe grab a bite to eat out there too. So let me check if... Alright, my camera's in tilt locked mode. Now it says on Google that it's a 16-minute bike ride. There's not a chance that I'm going to come even anywhere close to that, because you're going to have a lot of streets being utilized. And I'm probably going to have to pull over if I don't feel comfortable necessarily with the streets. But we're starting at near John Churchill Chase and South Peters. That's what I'm talking about. Where that big thing was just coming from, that is the bike lane, if you want to call it a bike lane. Yeah, look at that. I mean, they say, it's illegal or discourage using sidewalks, but if there's an area where there's virtually no people, I'm not going to subject myself to flying traffic. Now, I'm more than willing to ride in the parking lane like I'm doing right now. Once you get close to Canal Street and the French Quarter, things really get crazy with the traffic. Don't get the wrong idea. This is by no means, quote, crazy traffic on this road. I'm still just saying I'm not going to ride at his speed and trust cars that are coming full blast behind me. I'll opt to maneuver in and out. And if it gets to an area like near the French Quarter where it's way too busy, I'll just be content walking the bike. There will be a spot near the Mississippi River where we can utilize an actual bike trail, as well as on our route to Bywater, I believe, or at least for a portion of it. One of these years I should try to see how well I can see on a mirror, bicycle mirror. One thing to note about New Orleans lights, it's not like other cities where once they change, you kind of still have that like 1 to 2 second buffer period where it's like, okay, I can still hop across. Once it changes, bang, it's changing the other way. At least some of the few intersections I've come across, more than a few. Maybe it's different when you're outside of the main part of New Orleans. Now, see, since there's not a lot of vehicles over here, this really isn't that bad for bike riders. But now you got to be cautious because this transitions into a turn lane, I think. So we'll go ahead and peek at our phone here. This is Canal Street that we're on now. By the way, it's a nice 70 degrees today. So it says there should be a trail starting by the water, so I'm gonna skip the busy French Quarter area and head toward, make a right-hand turn after I cross the road up here. So like I said, this is Canal. I did my first day here a video on that, where you could go that way, and then the whole French Quarter is in that direction, and also partially this way. Well, let's head down Canal, going back this way. A little shopping mall on our left. I mentioned this in one of my other bike riding videos, but one of the reasons I love doing these bike rides in a new city, despite only being there a few days, is A, helps you cover more ground, good for the video, but also helps form that map in my head. So like the first day I was here when I didn't have a bike, I started the video right across there where Caesars is, and I proceeded down Canal to Bourbon Street, and then showed off the French Quarter for a while. But I had seen this part across the street. I didn't actually go to it. So in a way it's like, all right, I've covered that area. Now I'm picking up, forming a map in my head, now covering a different area. And then if I was ever dropped here again in the future, even without Google Maps, it helps me navigate and figure out where I'm going. This might be the bike trail, or leading to the bike trail. We also have the aquarium on our left. Uh-oh. I hear a noise. Is that for the streetcar? No.
In a quarter mile, turn left.
All right, it says in a quarter mile, turn left. Yeah, it looks like it's just up ahead here to the left. This is also where you could catch one of the ferries. And I think there's a boardwalk, Riverwalk down that way too, where, yeah, the Outlet Collection Riverwalk, indoor shopping mall, and you can walk the river. I'm going to try to do that maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. It's one of those things where it's so close to the hotel that I purposely thought to myself, okay, when I have a period where I don't have a lot of time to explore, but I still can do, something short, then that would be like good for me to do it then, as opposed to lumping it in with other footage here. All right, let's get ready to take off here in a second. So right now we're along the Mississippi River. Aquarium is on our left. I was down this way twice on Saturday, once in the afternoon and once in the evening. Afternoon, of course, was busier. Evening time, still some people walking around, but not nearly as much. But it's nice to see, even on a weekday evening, that you're having people just relaxing. It looks like over here on the left we've got New Orleans Holocaust Memorial. A few sculptures throughout the way. This next one over here, monument to the immigrant, it says. Oh, not sure if this goes around. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to turn around. It's alright, we'll do a, there is a small section you can sneak through over here. So everything to the left of us would be the French Quarter. The statue on the left here with his arms halfway chopped off. These are not paths that are meant for people to be zooming fast, but you can manage if you're going a steady, slower pace. Often see a guy playing music down here by the stop. I didn't go down this way the other day. Let me make sure that there's actually an escape path.
Head northeast toward Domain Street.
Grabbing a couple more pictures on the bike. This trip there's been a few times where it's like afterward I thought to myself,
Slight left toward St. Philip Street.
I forgot to grab some photographs of an area. Also, a lot of my area, or a lot of my photos were during the evening time, or not, sorry, during the time when the sun wasn't out.
Slight left toward St. Philip Street, then turn left onto St. Philip Street. Turn left onto St. Philip Street, then turn right onto North Peters Street.
Just trying to wait for the traffic to clear out a bit so I could go.
Turn right onto North Peters Street.
So it says turn right onto North Peters Street. Is it this or the next road? I think it's the next one. So we're at the tip of the French Quarter here. Right next to the French market. Well, it's actually the beginning of the French Market.
Turn right onto North Peter Street. Continue on North Peter Street for half a mile.
So once you go that little bit in the street, now we've got a path beginning in itself. On the left here are more of the vendors, non-food vendors that I explored during my time in the French Quarter. And when you get to the very end of this, that's where the delineation on the map kind of ends for French Quarter. Oh, we got a bus parked in the bike lane here. So this is North Peters Street. And can't remember if I said earlier, but we are on our way to the Bywater neighborhood. From what I saw on Google Maps, Bywater seems to be a neighborhood that has the typical houses that you see. Do we still have sidewalk? Oh yes, we do. I thought the sidewalk was running out by this electrical tower. Yeah, but in Bywater on Google Maps you have like a stretch of houses, but then on the corner you have a local business and houses, and again on another corner another local business. So it really seemed like an intriguing place to check out. Oops. Oh, you're fine. I was just avoiding the glass on the ground. Yeah, I hated to do the sudden stop because it makes him think like, oh, he was in the way of me, but that wasn't the case at all. There just happened to be a pile of glass that was like scattered all over the ground near there.
North Peters Street, turn slightly left and become St. Ferdinand Street, then turn right onto Chartres Street.
So we're going to take this slight left onto St. Ferdinand.
Turn right onto Chartres Street.
One good thing about the timing of the day is daylight savings time, or whatever the proper term is, just happened the other day. So it gives me 1 extra hour of daylight, so I should be able to explore until 7 o'clock today, as opposed to like 6 o'clock, which would give me far less time. Try to take pictures of murals whenever I have the opportunity to. So this street seems quite busy as well, so I'm going to opt to try the sidewalk again. Forgive me if I'm offending any locals by using the sidewalk.
Go on Chartres Street for half a mile.
I use my discretion if there's not tons of crowds of people, that I'll just do safety first. Here's Louisiana's Arts Conservatory. At some point coming up, I think we're gonna segue into a new dedicated bike path, or if not a bike path, then something like the Riverwalk we were at earlier. Let me check where Google tells me it is. It says one second, let me think about this. So, I should feel a little silly. So back there, even like before I did this, I don't want to say a super long ways away, but when I was on that sidewalk just a little bit ago, there was a small area where I could have turned and gone toward the river and then started riding down there. I thought it was like, I didn't even know I had gone so far there. It had started. So we are already in the Bywater neighborhood. So what I'm going to do is take this camera off and start walking around so I can show it a little bit better. Alright, so let's cut over to this other side of the street and just do a nice walk through. Change it to first person view on the camera. Human Milk, The Mind of 55, Bye Bye Freddy. Hoping to show off some of the architecture on houses as we do this walk, or some of just the unique designs, like these horses on the poles. And this is just a Bywater storage, Dr. Bowl, it's good to leave. There's also an advertisement for bike tours, free tour inside. What is this? It's like a Dr. Bob's Tourist Welcome, entrance to gallery this way. Let me Google this place real quick. Well, I don't know. It's saying tourist trap this way, tourist welcome. Yes, the cat is gay. So we've got like an elephant, other Random artifacts, Louisiana swamp art. Market, junk market. And then Dr. Bob's art. And this place definitely seems interesting. The fence is closed over there and says do not enter in that part. Maybe over there there's more stuff. I always love quirkiness though. Freak show sideshow. And that's still related to the Dr. Bob, so I don't know if it's a storage place, art place, random place. Bywater, it's good. Art gallery. Enter through driveway, so there must be an indoor art gallery as well. Across the way in that field there's a random donkey just kind of like angrily sitting by himself. I have to imagine that's done by the Bob's place. Art with a twist. More art down the alleyway. And then you just transition into some houses. Looks like it's a one-way street coming this way, so I'll try to be conscious if cars are coming. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the bakeries or cafes might be closed at like 3 p.m. or not even open on a day like today. Like they may be closed one day of the week on a Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, there's Petite Clouet Cafe. But this is an example of what I'm talking about. You have a stretch of houses, and then on the local corner you've got a cafe there. Over there it says Art Camp 504. See some of the houses and their unique designs. Let me look on Google Map for a second. I want to try to strategically go through this if I can, and if there's certain businesses I don't want to miss. Alright, let's walk up to Dauphine, I think it's called. It's like a local park on the left. I don't know if that's someone's yard or they just turned into that, or stretches several yards. I believe it's this next road that we're gonna make a right turn on and go at least 2 blocks. So here's Dauphine. We're going to turn to the right now. On the corner here looks like what would be a little general or mini store. Then look how everything is like neatly packed in together with different house colors. With the skeletons on top. I know I saw that in another house elsewhere. It's even got like the hook on the electrical thing. So what else do we have here? You've got on this corner Alma, a modern Honduran eatery. Not sure. Again, looks like it closed at 3 o'clock. There's a bike rack. Looks like a clothing store over there. Over there it says Bargain Center. Whole store full of knickknacks. What type of hidden gems might you find? And then you've got Electric Ladyland Bywater Tattoo. Salt Shuma, another cafe that closed at 3 p.m. So I guess that's the downside of not coming here in the evening. And maybe I guess it's an area not necessarily meant for the evening crowds. There's a sign over there that says Parlor Books. Maybe, there's a bookstore on the left side. And on the right, today's special, Frady's. Eat with Kings. I believe this is Piety as this street here. Oh, I was looking like, where are the street signs on the poles? Look, guess where they're at instead. Right there on the ground. Peony and, well, I don't think it's called Donkey Street. It's like Dauphine, but it's on the other side. Small local playground and park to our left. Open area of grass, jungle gym. Sadly, the pizza place that I would have wanted to go to, called Pizza Delicious, the day of the week they're closed is Mondays, which is today, and that's just up ahead here. But normally that's a place that gets good reviews and would be fun to attend. The blue bikes are available in this area. Yeah, Pizza Delicious would be located where that guy was spraying the door, where it says on PAD 617. I'm pretty sure that's where it's located. Over here there's a sign for another place that says Brats, y'all. I don't know if there's a food establishment open there. It does say Brats. And over here you've got Euclid Records. So Euclid Records over there on the left. And then to our right, it says Applied Arts Coffee coming soon, including the building over there. Now, what is this over here? Maybe this is how you can get from that Riverwalk and connect over. I don't think I'm going to lift the bike up there, but that's pretty interesting. You could walk up that. And then they have a parking lot here, so presumably lots of people, I imagine, park here and then walk over the railroad tracks over to Crescent Park, even though it's been graffitied to death. You are here, yeah, it takes the arch over and you can get to Crescent Park. Well, if it's still daylight later. Oh, it says park hours open until 7 p.m. only during daylight savings. So yeah, I guess we're not going to end up going there. But that's pretty unique to have that tall structure there. So there might be a couple of food places open further down Chartres. Whether or not I want to eat those particular offerings, we'll see. Now, I'm not saying there aren't areas of New Orleans that are dangerous. You know, of course there are, just like there would be in any other city. But I think a lot of these neighborhoods I'm showing off may give you a vibe like, oh, maybe if you thought New Orleans was like too dangerous to live in or venture in. It's not necessarily the case. I mean, everything seems peaceful from where I've been walking around. It's a little tighter on the sidewalk here with the trees. And the walker oncoming. That's where that parking lot ends. So quite a big parking lot if you want to go over to Crescent Park. Here's a sign for Elizabeth's Real Food, done real good. I like the exterior, but my guess is, much like many other places, they're probably not open. Let's grab a picture of that and then I'll check Google Maps for this place, Elizabeth's. Yep, closed. Monday they closed. They were from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We're gonna walk down to Independence Street and then at least walk by Bywater Bakery, which again is closed at this point in time of the day. Or I'm not sure if they were open at all today. I think they were. They just closed at 3 p.m. But then when I looked on the schedule, I think they're actually closed in general tomorrow, maybe. I could be mixing up my establishments. This looks like a place that could be used as a bar. Now this looks like new housing. Brand new, like it's not even open yet. So the next road, I think, is Independence, and we'll make a left turn down there. Well, this house on the left is decorated to the max for Mardi Gras. I assume Mardi Gras. It could be like that year round. Interesting little blue and red house on the right. And now we're at the intersection of Royal and Independence. Everything set up this way is grid-like structure with one-way streets. Got another house decked out with alligator designs. And a cool one with trumpets, guns, not. Looks like this could be a store. I mean, it says lofts and townhomes, so maybe it's not a store. It could be a storage unit that someone's utilizing it as. I think these are some lofts. Or maybe those are mini stores. I don't know. Without having done scouting or seeing big signage. So to our left would be Bywater Bakery. Unfortunately, Bywater Bakery is closed right now. Yeah, but I was right. 3 p.m. is when they close, and then Tuesdays and Wednesdays they're not open. So I'm not going, even if I came back, I'm not going to have the chance to enjoy it. Let me bring my bike up onto the curb real quick. And they would have had some delicious cakes inside. I'm sure there's other homemade stuff that they would normally have there. I'm gonna head back the other direction in a second. I was just looking at the artwork here. Rockefeller art. There's this arrow pointing this way. There's also Bywater Arts Loft. So the buildings on both sides are titled Bywater Arts Lofts and Bywater Arts Lofts 2. The gates are closed to this, but we can still peek at. You got some nice. It's like a sculpture garden. The flowers there. You had a similar little train that we saw outside of the Caesars Superdome the other day. More flowers in the background. Mural back there. So I don't know if this is open to the community by certain times. So let's go ahead and, by the way, it's the Bywater Arts Garden in Google Maps. Still don't know if there's specific hours, but like there's a bike lock closing it off. Here's Alvar. See the one-way sign over there is bent. So it's actually pointing the wrong way. Hello, random Santa Claus up on the telephone pole. We're gonna make a right turn at this next block. I think it's Bartholomew. And then we should encounter one of the places that is open called The Joint. It says it's a barbecue place. Hold on a second. Is this just like a random, someone turned the top of the fire hydrant into an avocado with a hat? And you got the van that's colored up. The roads are bumpy, so forgive the fact that you're hearing the bike lock jangling non-stop as I walk. It says, yes, they are for sale, inquire within, in reference to the flowers. So is this the Joint on the corner, or was it the next block? Don't think it's this place. Alright, so the Joint is one block down on Royal. I think the reason I went across that Bartholomew is because the one-way street. I was trying to navigate a tight space there, that's why I saw a cut in the footage. The Joint, brisket, super tender barbecue, beans and slaw, hot juicy ribs. It's a consideration for me to possibly eat at. We'll see what the other options are. I think the other options that I peeked at a bit might be a bar, but I didn't have a chance to click whether they have food. Some more uniquely colored houses. Here's Blots. Although underneath Blots it says J&J's Sports Lounge. Cash only internet is down. Well, that's a bummer. It rules out that location for me. Look, it's a cat crossing. I think we've got another bar on the following corner. I think up here is like the end of the road for Bywater, because you would have to cross over a river of sorts to get to the other side in whatever city that is. What is this big building though on the right? Is it active? Abandoned? Looks like we may have another bar here too. Jack Dempsey's Restaurant, Steak and Seafood. This is Dauphine and Poland. See, you have a strip of grass going in the middle. Still wondering what that is. It's like they have a fence up but allowing cars in. Alright, I still don't quite know what that is, but it actually, according to Google, that bar over there is open. Whether it's true, not sure. Because it looks, more like it's abandoned. Guess I should go to the other side of the street to match traffic. I mean, does this bar look open? Maybe it is. I mean, that part's unlocked. Maybe you just open the door and go in. And there's a light on in there. A random eyeball in the tree. Hi, kitty. This is a cool street, just like with how you have the short but thick trees that branch out and create that canopy. Look at that, like, you know, it's like a sad person crouched down. Yeah, you never know. Like, to me, seeing something like that, that'll be one of the coolest memories I have of Bywater. And that's not to say anything negative about Bywater at all. It's just certain things that like extra appeal to me. Unique looking sculptures and, you know, the nice color of the house. One of these back places, I'm not sure if it's this road or the next, normally has, or on certain weekend dates, has like a music box place that has probably, if I had to guess, a lot of those makeshift structures like we just looked at, but with a musical element to them. But it just has limited openings. So it doesn't, I wasn't sure how to get there anyway. When I was looking at Google Maps, there was no clear mapping of like, oh yeah, go down this road in order to get to the outside of it. Trap kitchen, but once again, don't think they're open, but it's just based on the fact that there's no cars there. Don't think there's a sidewalk here. We'll just peek. I mean, there is a bike lane in the road. Let me look at my Google Maps and think what I'm going to try next. All right, so this road is St. Claude, but with it going to be, even though I have a bike light on, I mean, I am still going to be venturing in the dark later, but I'm going to grab something to eat. So I think for that purpose, I'm going to try dining at the Joint, which we passed by earlier. They have like a pulled pork and mac and cheese option that appeals to me. So I'll ride back there and then probably finish the Bywater video with a little clip inside of there. But we'll also capture our journey there. Bywater looks like on the map it goes further to my right. But then, like, technically the boundary ends somewhere, I don't know, I forget how far, somewhere up ahead, and is technically like another neighborhood. See if Google is telling me where to go. It wants me to make a left-hand turn at the next intersection, I think. Be sure to tell us in the comments what you think of the atmosphere of this neighborhood. As I stated multiple times, it's too bad we couldn't come by at a time when it's earlier in the day and all these places
Turn
are
right
open.
onto Royal Street.
But you still have a select few that have the late night hours. Now, a question is there a place to securely lock my bike? I know other places have had that. So, is it Burgundy I'm turning on? I know this is not a stop, but I need to see if I'm turning. No, it wants me to go 2 blocks actually.
In 600 feet, turn right onto Royal Street.
Royal Street, that's right. So we're back to Dauphine, and then Royal is after that.
Turn right onto Royal Street, then your destination will be on the right. Your destination is on the right.
Oh, we got a bike lock right up there. Perfect. So, cool interior. I ordered the pulled pork and mac and cheese. See the artwork on the building or side. This is the joint. And they've got like various artwork up here too. All American, Death Dodger, Evel Knievel, Professor Longhair. Well, I'm lucky I came in when I did, because after that a big crowd came in. Here's the pulled pork and mac and cheese. So that was delicious. I know it's dark now, but just finished at the joint. The pulled pork sandwich and mac and cheese were delicious. There was a big crowd in there. Loved the atmosphere. The staff was nice. So can't go wrong with it. Since it's getting dark now, we'll go ahead and say that's our conclusion of the Bywater video. And I'm gonna ride with my bike light on the way back. Let's try this out. Oh, nice and bright. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. So I'm taking the bike lane back. I was on that side of the road earlier, but it's just nice that you get, I know the blinding light is ruining the picture, but you can see the downtown skyline as you head back. The French Market when it's not being occupied at night. some of the nearby roads.